Right guys, good afternoon and welcome back to another edition of Nick's Veggie Patch. As you can see, I'm stood by one of my square raised planters, and today I'm going to be planting some early crop potatoes. Now, I've got a variety called Rocket, and they're going to go into this raised bed here. What I'm going to do first though is I've got my trusty hoe, and I'm going to kind of spread it over, but I'm also going to be putting in today, guys, I've got some wonderful manure. This is manure with some mushroom compost mixed in. I get this from one of the allotments where I live. They have their own shop, their own association. They're called Drove Allotments, and you can get lots of fantastic stuff from the shop, obviously following the COVID rules. So basically whatever I want to buy, I phone the guy up, I order my stuff, he goes to the shop, picks out what I want, drops it off at the gate, and then they've got a little box. I put my money in there and he collects it from the other side. So yeah, so in here is already some really well rotted down compost that I put in last year, and today I'm going to be putting in some manure with some mushroom compost in it, and then I'm going to be planting my early crop potatoes. As I said, they're a variety called Rocket, but I'm going to get them in ready to go. So as always guys, I'll come back to you in a minute. Time to get cracking on. Right guys, as you can see, I've raked over the compost, or the manure with the mushroom compost, into this raised bed, and I'm now going to plant my rocket potatoes. Now you can space them out and you'll get a very good crop of potatoes. Obviously make sure the chitted side of the potato is facing up, but yeah, space as many out as you can, see how many you can get into the raised bed. So I'm going to get cracking on guys. Right, well there we go guys. As you can see, I've put the potatoes into this raised bed. I've still got a few left, but I will incorporate them into the raised bed in front of it, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we will have a really good crop of rocket potatoes. I'll catch you in a minute guys. Right guys and girls, welcome back. That's one first lot of potatoes into the first raised bed. As I said, they're a variety called Rocket. They're first early, so hopefully around about June time we should have some first lot of potatoes. I have got more to plant, and I'll put them in the raised bed in front of them in a little while. But I'm going to go and have a coffee now, have a little bit of a break, and then I'll come back and show you the other raised bed. See you in a bit guys. Right guys and girls, welcome back to my veggie patch. As you can see, I've got all the bits and pieces I need now to fill my second raised bed with the rocket potatoes early crop. I've had a nice cup of coffee to warm me up, and now I'm going to continue with stuff on my plot. Just got to get these potatoes in, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to dump the manure with the mushroom compost mixed in with it, dump that in, spread it across the raised bed so it's even. Then I'm going to plant my potatoes and then give it another little bit of tiny manure back on top. Then I'm going to be seed sowing in my polytunnel, so I'm going to be looking at what sort of seeds that I'm going to be planting. So I got a list ready to go of all the seeds that I'm going to be sowing today, and I'll probably sow a lot more tomorrow, and they're going to go into my raised bed that I've built into the polytunnel, and they will then be covered over with cloche, and I'll stick a board on top of the cloche. Hopefully that will give them some heat and hopefully start them off, because it isn't very warm today, but hopefully that cloche will provide them with a bit of warmth, and the board over the top. I'm going to try and get as much as I can done. So I suppose guys, without further ado, I'm going to have to get cracking on. I'll come back to you in a minute guys. Okay guys, welcome back. I've now finished planting the second raised bin with rocket potatoes, and I've got these new bamboo tags that I brought off of Amazon. They come with a special pen. You can basically write on them either side, and they're easily washable off, or you can just leave them on there and they'll stay there for as long as you want them, as long as you grow that variety of potato. I've also added one into the first raised bed I planted, but there, as you can see, I've put seed potatoes, rocket, first earlies. So yeah, that's two of the raised beds planted up with first early potatoes. I've got some more in the greenhouse that aren't chitting yet, so I'll just wait before I plant them out, because they need a good chit on to give them healthy growing time in your plot or wherever you're going to plant them. But there we go, guys. That's 2 of my big raised beds ready to go, and hopefully I'll get a very good crop of rocket potatoes. Wow, on to the next job, guys. Catch you in a bit. Right, guys and girls, welcome back to my veggie patch. I'm in the polytunnel now, and I'm going to be sowing some seeds. So I've got lots of different varieties of seeds here, just a few to get me started. The first one that I'm obviously going to be planting is the all year round cauliflower. Very versatile. So I'm going to be planting that into a 24 seed tray cell. It's got holes in the bottom so you can get good drainage. Hopefully that will give me enough cauliflowers in the tray, sorry, to germinate. But here we go, guys. So basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to pan the camera around so you can see the tray. I've got a big bag of compost here, and I'm just going to cover the tray quite liberally. This is a multi-purpose compost. I haven't sifted it. Normally I would do, but I think it's good enough as it is. Just going to make sure that literally gets a good covering all over the tray. And what I like to do is I like to kind of pack it in really firm to start off with, just so the seeds that I'm planting get a really good start. As I said, I haven't sifted this compost, so there's lots of twigs and stuff in it, but hopefully that shouldn't be an issue, and everything that I sow in these trays here should come up. You want to pack your I find if you pack the compost in quite liberally, quite well, when you water it the first time, it won't actually kind of sink, because sometimes I find that when you put compost in and you water it, it tends to sink a little bit into the tray. So but yeah, I pack it in liberally. So there we go. As you can see, guys, nice and tightly compacted in. And I've now got my cauliflower seeds just here. I'm just going to dib with my finger. You can buy a dibber. I have got one, but I forgot to bring it in with me. Dib the holes. Your fingers should be enough to dib the size hole you want. Dib all the trays. So now I've got them in there. Gonna take out the little seeds, and as you can see, they're kind of little sort of coloured kind of seeds. And I'm gonna do about 3 or 4 to a tray. I mean, it doesn't matter, because you can always separate them when they start to come up. So and then you can always pick out the best ones once they come up. So some are getting 3 or 4, you know, it doesn't matter really. I tend to do the same with radishes as well. There we are, just putting them in. Put the rest you don't need back into your little white bag. And then what I do now is just get another layer of compost. Spread that all over lightly. So it covers all the holes. As you can see there, all nicely covered. And then what I do, I'll just move the seeds out of the way, the other seeds out of the way, so they don't get all wet. But I then give it a water, and I go just one good sort of liberal soak. I pause, let it soak in, and then what I do is just give it one more good soak. So I've given it 2 good soaks there. That will allow the water to get down through to the soil, and hopefully that will now be some cauliflowers that hopefully within the next couple of weeks will start to germinate. I'm going to stick them in my raised beds in the polytunnel here that haven't got anything in them at the moment, but I'm going to get cracking on. I just wanted to give you a demonstration, guys, on how I do mine. You may do the same, but I'll come back to you in a minute, guys. Right, guys, there's my second cell tray of all year round cauliflower sown. There's 24 cells to a tray, so I've put about 2 or 3 little seeds in each cell, and hopefully that's going to give me some cauliflowers this year, because I did miserably last year with cauliflowers. I don't think I kept an eye on them properly, and they just went to pot basically. So yeah, so hopefully this year I shall get some cauliflowers. But as you can see, guys, I've got the tag in them to say cauliflower all year round, and let's see how they go. Come back to you in a minute, guys, because I'm going to sow something else. Right, welcome back, guys. I've got the next 2 sets of seed trays ready, so I'm going to do them all together. So I've got 48 cells in the tray in total, and this time I'm going to be planting radish French breakfast. Now radishes generally, if the weather's not too bad, generally only take about, I believe it's 8 weeks or so from sowing, that you can have radishes ready, and that's just me picking up info from other YouTube users, obviously. So yeah, I'm gonna sow about 3 or 4 to a cell, and then we'll just see how they all come up. I mean, you might get some that don't germinate, so it doesn't really matter how many you've sown. But yeah, I'm gonna sow about 3 or 4 to a cell. Doesn't matter if it's slightly more than that. But my wife loves radishes, and I've also found a very quick, easy pickling recipe for radishes and other vegetables you grow on your plot. And all you need is some lemon and some lime juice, and you just pour it over the vegetables you've sliced, and then you kind of leave them in the fridge to marinate for an hour or so. And basically what happens is the acidity from the lime and the lemons actually kind of pickles your vegetables. So if you wanted, you know, you could have really quick and easy pickled vegetables. It works really well with any vegetable, even salads. You can do it with celery is a good one. So yeah, just some little tips that I've picked up there. It also actually, it works on fish, because basically the acidity in the limes and the lemons, they help cook your fish. So the Chinese do it a lot with fresh fish. Just add a simple marinade, or they just lemon lime. It basically has cooked the fish for them. Now, just coming to the end here, just use up the last few seeds there. Hopefully I'll get quite a few germinate. So once that's done, just make sure the seeds are in. Then what you want to do is, how I do it, just a light covering of the compost over the top, just like that. You don't need to press this one down, just a light covering. Doesn't matter if you lose any. So just some on the other side as well. I mean, for now there, I think I've planted enough radishes just to hopefully get them going, considering it's not the greatest of weathers at the moment. But hopefully once I've covered the raised beds over with a bit of cloche, and then hopefully they'll start to germinate. And now just some water over them both. Let that soak in, and then I just normally do one more, just quick one more. Allow that to soak in. Then obviously close the seed packet back up. And then all I need to do is I just write out the label. And plunk that in the seed tray like that, and now they'll go over into the raised bed. So I'll come back to you in a minute, guys, when I planted some more. Right, guys, I've just sown a variety of carrot called Nance 2, but if I've got it wrong, please do let me know in the comments if you watch my video. But yeah, that's what the variety is called, Nance. Probably can't see it properly that way on the camera, I'm not sure, but yeah, I've sown that variety. That will also now go into my raised bed here in the polytunnel, along with the all-round cauliflowers and the radishes. I'll come back to you in a minute, guys, when I've sowed some more seeds. Right, guys, welcome back. What I've decided to do is I've covered over the seed trays that I've already planted, so the radishes, the cauliflowers and the carrots which I've sown. As you can see, I've covered them over, so they've got cloche over the top, and then I've put some plastic covers over what I've got lying around on my plot. And then what I'm going to do is, it's getting a bit dark now, it's getting a bit cold as well, so I'm going to go home, guys, and I'm going to sit in a nice warm house, have a coffee, and then I'll come down and I'll sow some more stuff tomorrow, guys. So as always, as I say, guys, stay safe, and hopefully there may be another video tomorrow. Just to let you know, this video I'm doing today, guys, is it's a completely new way of doing it for me. I found a new way of doing it with the help from my friend Dave Dixon, who's got a plot just over the other side of mine. Hopefully, if it works, it's going to be really good. But what I'd like you to do, guys, if you think it's good, just let me know in the comments. If you don't think it's good, or if you think I can make improvements, just let me know. Bye for now, guys. This is a shout out to all my fellow YouTube followers. Thanks for subscribing, guys. Thanks for watching. To see more from Nick's Veggie Patch, please subscribe to my channel, hit the bell for new notifications, and don't forget, please click on the thumb at the bottom of the page to save videos to favourites. Bye for now, guys and girls.